Why are some sellers able to make tens of thousands of dollars a month with their shop, while others are left picking up the scraps that are left behind, or worse, getting nothing at all? After 5 years of growing my own multi-million-dollar Etsy print-on-demand shops, I can confidently tell you that hitting $30,000 a month isn't too difficult if you follow the steps that I'm going to share with you in this video so that you don't end up like the other 99%. This is just one of my Etsy print-on-demand shops that has made over $30,000 last month. And so today I'm going to share with you everything that you need to know if you want to grow one of these for yourself. If you don't want to watch a bunch of different print-on-demand videos, this one will give you all the core pieces that you need to go grow a $30,000 per month shop and beyond. First, I'll explain how a shop can actually make $30,000 a month. Then I'll break down the entire shop hacking process and the anatomy of successful listings so that you can actually build them for yourself. And no, I'm not worried about adding more competition to Etsy because they already transact over $13 billion a year. So you making even $1 million a year doesn't even make a dent. Now, instead of trying to go straight for making $30,000 a month, our goal is instead to learn how to make a $1,000 listing. Success with Etsy print on demand isn't about having the best logo or banner image in your shop or even the perfect name, but instead, all you need to figure out is how to build $1,000 listings. This is a listing that earns you an average of $1,000 per month. And while they're definitely not the easiest thing to make, I'm going to show you how I've been able to do it time and time again. It only takes $30,000 listings to make $30,000 a month. And while it's much easier said than done, if you at least know the right direction to go in each time you post a new listing for sale, you'll make a lot more money overall. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the primary reasons that most sellers never hit their financial goals is because they don't actually know what goes into a $1,000 listing. When you first open your shop, you can feel smothered in information and potential directions that you can go in, leaving you paralyzed from actually making progress. And how are you supposed to grow a $30,000 per month shop if you don't even know what it looks like? So allow me to introduce you to shop hacking. The best way to start a print-on-demand business is by going through Etsy and finding 3 to 5 shops that you can use to shop hack and model in your own business. It's a good idea to have a mix of shops, some that have been more recently successful and some that have proven to work over time. This way you can prove that the product that you want to sell is already selling well, so that way you don't accidentally try to reinvent the wheel. And as you grow your shop, you're doing it in a way that's already been proven to work at a high level. Since tons of other people have already been successful with their Etsy shops, they've left behind examples of what works, what to do, and how to be successful yourself. And the more successful shops you find, the better, and that way you can steal one idea from each shop at a time, and that way you're not copying someone's entire business. And pro tip here, if you can't find any shops successfully selling the type of product that you want to sell, it probably doesn't work that well. Now, does the shop name matter at all? Sure. And does having a good logo help at all? Of course. But the point is that customers don't care about those details. They care about the listings you have for sale in your shop, and I'll prove it to you. This is the perfect example shop that I could use to shop hack. They have a super non-memorable name. I would have never remembered this name unless I wrote it down. And their logo is just their name written on a gray background. They don't even have a banner image. They don't have any shop announcements. They're just focused on making great listings. Now, what's interesting about this shop is they opened almost 4 years ago, and right now they have about 100,000 sales. So that means that they've been doing about 25,000 sales a year, or about 2,200 sales per month. This is a great example of a long-term successful shop. But it's also a good idea to find shops that have performed well recently so that you have an idea of what's working right now. If I'm selling t-shirts, this is a great example of a shop that I'd look at to see what's working right now. You can see they really have a simple name on their shop, and then their logo and banner image is just the shop name written in a cursive font. And they've just been focused on posting quality listings for sale. Now, you can see that this shop has just about 700 listings, and 200 of those listings are new, posted within the last 30 days, and they've only been open for about 8 months, and they've already done 13,000 sales. So that means that they're making about 1,600 sales per month, and they've only been open for 8 months. Now, in order to build out a $1,000 listing, that listing has to rank really high up in search, like on the first page of search results, and then it has to stay there, and it has to get customers to click on it and then ultimately order it. There's 4 elements that you have to get right in order to build out a $1,000 listing. And the first is obviously the product design. For the sake of time in this video, I'm going to assume that you'll watch my design hacking tutorial, which teaches you how to make best-selling designs in just a few minutes using my design hacking method after you finish this video. I'll leave a link in the description, and if you actually put it to use, you should be able to make high quality designs in just a few minutes. But equally as important as the design that you're putting on the product you're selling is the presentation of that product in Etsy search results. And the presentation all starts with the mockup image. This is the image that displays the design on the product that you're selling, and it's ultimately what gets a customer to click onto your product in your $1,000 listing. Customers are gonna see your mockup before they see anything else, and this is really where shop hacking comes into play. Now, I recommend looking at the shops that you noted down from the beginning of the video and taking note of which mockups they're using. Again, mockups will obviously change over time. So what worked last year might not work quite as well right now. It might not be as hot. So checking your competition is a great way to see what's working well right now. Following what successful shops do is a great way to avoid beginner mistakes of using a crazy mockup that you might think look good, but that the average Etsy shopper is just going to scroll right past. When you analyze a shop's best-selling listings, you should start to see some patterns in the mockups that they're using on those top listings. You'll start to notice that certain mockups and listings perform a lot better than others, and these are the mockups that you want to be using in your own listings. This is one of the best-selling listings from the shop that we just analyzed. And if we come over to their color chart, we can guess that this is probably the heather olive color. So if we just look up for a heather olive men's mockup and we scroll through these search results, here it is. It's the exact same mockup that that other listing is using, available right on Etsy for only $3. Another pro tip here is don't cheap out. If a mockup costs $3, spend the $3 and get the high converting mockup that you already know works. When you try and get too fancy and do things in your own way, you might just end up without any sales. Now, if the listings you post never get seen, then the mockups you use definitely don't matter and you won't be posting $1,000 listings. To get customers to see and then click on our products, it first has to show up in Etsy search results, which means we have to use the right keywords. Etsy is a search engine, which means customers come to Etsy to use it to find the products that they want to buy. This is how you get your products to show up for relevant searches. So we just looked at this product. It's a Cool Uncle's Club shirt. So if we copy that and we just search Etsy for that type of product, we'll see a bunch of similar results here. And one thing you should notice is that almost all of these listings use a very similar start to their title. In the same way that we study successful shops and what mockups they're using, we want to study the keywords that successful listings are using to rank high up in search. Now, we can just come into each listing and view how they're building out their titles and using keywords. Now, remember that the first 30 or so characters are what show on search before the customer clicks in, so they need to be human friendly. And then the rest of the title can be more Etsy search optimized. A well-built title should include keywords that target exactly what the product is, as well as other searches that potential customers might make. You can use the same keywords that successful listings are using in your own titles. We can also take it a step further. You could use a tool like the Keyword Finder in Listing View, which is my Etsy research tool. And this lets us get a breakdown on any specific keyword. This shows us the views, the favorites and customer interest, the amount of competing listings, and ultimately a score for this particular niche or keyword. But since this is a keyword finder tool, we can use this similar keyword section below to find other related keywords that we can also use in our title to get the most amount of views. Each keyword shows us the total views and the total competing listings for each one of those keywords, as well as the score, of course. You want to start your title with something human friendly that's already working in a low competition niche, and then fill the rest of your title up with other keywords that still get a lot of views relative to the competition. Using keywords like this will get your products to show up in search, and using good mockups will get customers to click through onto your listings. But in order to keep your rank high up in search, you have to get those shoppers to buy your product. Obviously, your product design needs to be high quality enough for someone to want to buy it. I've got a full design hacking tutorial which teaches you exactly how to do that. Which basically means the only thing left is to add info cards into your listing. The info cards are the other images that are in your listing. These could be things like guarantees, or customer reviews, or how your product is made. And overall, it's not necessarily about the information that's in the info cards, but it's about the branding and trust that builds up to help them actually feel comfortable buying your listing. Info cards help you feel and seem like a legitimate business. they make your listings look more refined. This is another piece that you can buy directly off of Etsy. So if you want something like a sizing guide, we could just search for a Bella Canvas size chart. And we can see a bunch of different results that we can buy right off of Etsy, ready to use in our own listings. But to help you guys get started, I created a free Canva or Figma board download with some sizing guides and color charts, which I created for you to use in your own shops if you'd like. They're also fully customizable, so you can change out the fonts and the colors and things like that. Now, if you want your shop to reach $30,000 a month, you need to have your listings rank really high up in search, and you have to get them to stay there, but you also need a lot of different listings all making you sales. The only real way that I've found to do this is by automating the process of making and posting listings for sale. This is really where all of this starts to come together. At this point, you know the theory of how to build out a $1,000 listing, and we've looked at the anatomy of a listing, so you know the 4 core elements that go into it, but now we need to automate each part of the process in building those listings so that we can grow a shop to $30,000 a month. There's really no way around the fact that you have to create not only a lot, but also high quality products. All of the shops that we've looked at not only already have a lot, but they're also constantly posting new product listings for sale. You can see this shop is constantly posting new listings for sale almost every single day. You need to make quality product designs that customers are already searching for using elements that have already been proven to work. Similar to what we've done with shop hacking in this video to steal individual elements from overall shops that have been proven to work, this process is all about dismantling successful designs into their core elements and then reassembling them into design templates that can be used to make dozens of future designs. Basically, it's how to make dozens of designs in the time that it would normally take you to make one. Again, I'll leave a link in the description for that video because the full process is a little too long for today. Next, since my design hacking tutorial teaches you how to make designs in bulk, you need to automate the process of getting those designs posted for sale in your Etsy shop. Instead of manually uploading and building out every single product listing, you can use Prelist, which is my product uploader tool that lets you just drag and drop all of your designs in at once, and it creates the products for you. Prelist integrates directly with Printify, which means I can create one of these product templates, which is just an example product in Printify with all of the colors and sizes already pre-selected that I want to sell. With the template selected, I can just drag in all of the design files for the products that I want to create, and after they upload, you can see it's ready to create 10 new products based on these designs. From here, I could just hit upload and it would create 10 brand new products based on my designs, or I can add a design variation. And this allows me to select specific colors in my listing that I want to upload an alternative design to. So I'll just select some of these darker colors and then I can upload my alternative design color. So in this case, I'll just upload these white designs to it. Once it's uploaded, it'll link the variant design to the original product. So now when I hit upload, I just have to give it a couple minutes to complete the process. All these example designs got uploaded into my Printify account without me having to manually do each one. You can see that the black design got uploaded to the lighter colors, and we uploaded the lighter design to all of the darker colors. When you're uploading products in bulk, this saves you a ton of time. Now, making your main product images or your mockups can also take a really long time, but once again, I've got a full tutorial on my YouTube channel detailing exactly how you can automate the process of automatically generating product mockups for your listings. Now that you've automated creating your design, uploading it to Printify, and creating your mockup, a process that would normally take you hours or days, the next automation is your marketing. The reason Etsy is the best place to start your print-on-demand business is because they're already driving traffic to your site. All you have to do is get a small percentage of that traffic to shop with you instead of someone else. And we do this on autopilot. When we looked at the anatomy of a listing, we saw that by using optimized keywords, we can trigger our products to show up in Etsy search. If you've been paying attention and following the method that I'm teaching you in this video, then you don't have to buy ads or pay to get traffic on your listings and shop. When you're posting lots of listings with optimized keywords, like the keywords that we found in Listing Views Keyword Finder, your marketing is posting more listings. These listings will live in Etsy search engine and start to get traffic organically over time. The automation is really about using optimized keywords from the beginning so that you don't waste time posting products that flop and never trigger the Etsy search engine to show up in search results. Listing View just helps you figure out which keywords are performing best based on your main idea. And this way, once you finally post the product for sale, they have the best chance of showing up in front of a customer's search so that each listing goes as far as it can and you don't waste time posting products that never get seen. And finally, the whole reason to even build a print-on-demand business to begin with is to build up an automated passive income stream that requires very little time to manage. Automating fulfillment is the last piece that you have to get right to make this a fully automated or passive income stream generating you thousands of dollars per week. The only way to have $30,000 months is to have an automated process for fulfilling thousands of orders. Since we use Prelist to bulk upload designs directly to Printify, when we publish those listings from Printify into our Etsy shop, every time one of those products is sold, Printify has it printed and shipped directly to the customer. Printify takes care of all of the printing and shipping that you would normally have to do, and they do it automatically as orders come in. Printify really makes this entire business model possible because without them, you'd have to hold inventory for, print, and ship thousands of orders per month. If you're selling t-shirts, for example, you would have to buy 10 different colored t-shirts in 6 different sizes up front before you could even make a sale. And that's just to make one sale. You only pay for the product after you've already made the sale. Printify takes on all the upfront risk, and that's why this is one of the best businesses to start if you're a beginner, and one of the best businesses to scale overall. I've got a bunch of downloads in the description below, which will help you get started and build out $1,000 listings and hopefully a $30,000 per month Etsy print-on-demand shop for yourself. As always, I hope this video was helpful, and if you need a more comprehensive overview of the print-on-demand business model, you can check out this video next. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you over there.